Bill O'Reilly. Get a load of this guy. Now, in his crazy mind, that's never been apparently exposed to any African Americans, he thinks he's trying to educate white people that, no, it turns out black people are okay. He's having a conversation about how he went to this restaurant called Sylvia's in Harlem with Al Sharpton. And the things he says blows me away. I mean, get a load of how much fun this is. Let's start with clip number 1. Okay, here's Bill O'Reilly on his radio program.
Black people in this country understand that they've had a very, very tough go of it. And some of them can get past that, and some of them cannot. I don't think there's a black American who hasn't had a personal insult that they've had to deal with because of the color of their skin. I don't think there's one in the country. So you got to accept that as being the truth. People deal with that stuff in a variety of ways. Some get bitter. Some say, you can do that, you call me that, I'm going to be more successful. Okay? Depends on the personality.
So far, so good.
It's there. It's there. And I think it's getting better. I think black Americans are starting to think more and more for themselves.
Oh.
And they're getting away from the Sharptons and the Jacksons and the people trying to lead them into a race-based culture. They're trying to figure it out. Look, I can make it. If I work hard, get educated, I can make it. You know, I was up in Harlem a few weeks ago, and I actually had dinner with Al Sharpton, who is a very, very interesting guy, and he comes on a Factor a lot, and then I treated him to dinner because he's made himself available to us, and I felt that I wanted to take him up there, and we went to Sylvia's, a very famous restaurant in Harlem. I had a great time, and all people up there tremendously respectful. They all watched the Factor. You know, when Sharpton and I walked in, it was like big commotion and everything, but everybody was very nice. And I couldn't get over the fact that there was no difference between Sylvia's restaurant and any other restaurant in New York City. I mean, it was exactly the same, even though it's run by blacks, primarily black patronship. It was the same. And really what the society is all about now here in the USA. There's no difference. There's no difference. You know, there may be a cultural entertainment. People may gravitate toward different cultural entertainment. But you get down to Little Italy and you're going to have that. And nothing to do with the color of anybody's skin.
I just love this. Okay. In his mind, he's trying to do the right thing. That's what I think, okay? But he is just shocked that it turns out if you go to a black restaurant, it's like other restaurants. No! Really? Wow, I didn't see that coming. And he says, look, in this country, it's turned out that black people and white people are in Little Italy and Harlem. It's all the same. This comes as like a big surprise, and he wants to let his audience know. Out of the goodness of his heart, he's trying to let them know. He says, you know, I couldn't get over this fact. It's such a big surprise to him that he couldn't get over it. Okay. And I love two other things in it, and then we'll bring JR into this discussion. I walked into Sylvia's, and they all watched the Factor. No, they don't, dude. They know who you are. Doesn't mean they watch your show, okay? And then my other favorite part was right in the beginning where he's like, well, now some black Americans are beginning to think for themselves. Oh, really? Before, no blacks in America thought for themselves, but now that some of them agree with Bill O'Reilly, they're beginning to think for themselves. JR, get a load of this guy. I mean, what do you think?
People don't realize that they're I don't know how far it goes, but we'll throw it out there. They're racist. They don't realize that there's differences in people, and that no, just because you don't know how people live doesn't mean that they're aliens. And so he's showing that by saying he's acting like you said, he's trying to educate people, and he's showing his ignorance constantly.
Yeah. No, what's amazing is, my God, this man knows no black people. I mean, he's never been to a black restaurant in his life. He's never hung out with black people in his life, and everything is like new to him. Like he just plopped on planet Earth and landed in America, and he's like, look at this, white and black people interacting, and it turns out they're just like us.
And the blacks were well dressed. She came out. Anita Baker came out and said, look, this is a show for the family. We're not going to have any profanity here. We're not going to do any rapping here. The band was excellent, but they were dressed in tuxedos. And, you know, this is what white America doesn't know. particularly people who don't have a lot of interaction with black Americans, they think that the culture is dominated by Twista, Ludacris, and Snoop Dogg.
My favorite part of all this is not what a lot of people are focusing on. It's that he goes to an Anita Baker concert, and he's surprised that rap doesn't work there. But why would it? That's not the music she does. It's like going to an opera and being like, you know, Barry Manilow didn't come out and sing. Yeah, because you went to an opera, and that's not what they sing there.
And then that's where he in the back door qualifies it. He didn't say it. I was surprised. I mean, Anita Baker came out and she didn't rap. He said she came out and said there's going to be no rapping here. We're not going to be walking around with our pants around our ass. Why would she come out and say that? What's the point of her coming out and saying that? She's there to perform. She knows who bought those tickets for her show.
Jared, I don't think you're getting it, man. It turns out people there were well-dressed. Did you know there was well-dressed African Americans? Man, that was news to me. It's a good thing some people listen. It's a good thing everybody listens to The Factor. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten that news.